Hey everybody, how's it going? Started off really slow on the mountain today. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's all foggy and rainy. I've been hiking, I think it's 11:30 right now, and I started at 8 something. So I've been going for a long time. No success, no sheds, no mushrooms. Just it's been nothing but rain. I was walking along this elk trail. Didn't find an elk shed, but kind of something that's a little exciting when you haven't found anything. One morel right there. Pretty nice looking one. It's still nice and moist. It hasn't started to dry out yet. And then I was looking around. I dropped my backpack and was looking around. Didn't see any more, so I just went to cut it. I look up the trail and there was another one right here. Bigger. I look up the trail even farther. There's another one right there. So there's a little cluster. That pretty cool little find. Could have been an elk shed. I mean, I'm on the trail with elk tracks. But I'll cut these and keep going, hopefully find some more things. Well, I stumbled into a couple more. I'm still walking the game trails, and they seem to be right along it, so yeah, it's pretty cool. This one is huge though. Like, those other ones were nice, but this one, that's a really big one, for at least here. It's got some good color still, and pretty nice one. And there's one up the hill a little ways. I'm gonna look around and see if I find a handful or two more while I'm here. They've seemed really spotty though. There that one is right there. Yeah, they seem like they're not coming out in as aggressive amounts as they have been. But it's pretty cool to find a few. I already got those 3 in my bag, so it's gonna go with some elk hamburger later when I get back down. Yeah, I figured I'd also do this little bit right here to kind of explain where to find morels. I had a few people in my last morel hunting video ask what to look for when you're looking for the morels like that. What I'm doing is just hiking these really steep hillsides. So you can probably see even in this camera, which isn't the best, but it is super steep straight down and super steep all the way up. But anyways, this is mostly a hemlock cedar forest. That's pretty much all the wood here. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the mushrooms growing good or bad, or where they come up, because this is usually all I hunt morels in, is cedar and hemlock, and then some thick pines sometimes. But this is what we have here, cedar and hemlock. That's every tree you're gonna see in this. I mean, hemlock, hemlock, hemlock. There's a bunch of big ones and then a couple of cedars, but yeah, that's it. And I like to get as close to them as I can, right along those hemlock and cedar bases. As you can see, that one right there is next to an old cedar stump, but then there's a group of hemlocks right there, really close. And that seems to be pretty good. Steep trails and cedar and hemlock woods is where I always have my success. But I have found them on flat areas with a lot of larch and stuff like that. So I mean, it doesn't really matter, I think, the tree cover, but that's just here. This specific spot and type, really steep country with hemlocks and cedars, is what I've been looking for. And then yeah, I just look under brush and wherever, because that one's just growing under sticks, and this one is too. So look as good as you can through all this stuff. Just keep an eye on the ground, because they could even be coming out of stuff like all this duff on top. You never know. You might just see a little bit popping out, but there could be a decent sized one hiding under it. So yeah, that's just kind of a little overview on how I like to at least base my search for these morels in these woods. But it could depend on where you're at as well. But yeah, that's just kind of this area. So anyways, I'm going to cut these 2 off, keep going up, see if I can find some more morels and sheds. I just want to throw in another little tip, I guess you could call it, to looking. This is the same type of wood still. It's still the cedar and hemlock, just more of a spaced out opening, as you can clearly tell. But anyways, there's all these fallen logs, and I don't know if I don't think I actually mentioned that in the other piece. I said look close to stumps and like bases of trees, but I don't think I mentioned the fallen logs. But if I did, I guess I repeated it. But it's a really good one. And this mossy area, it's that there's the usual duff layer I like to look in, but this moss and small shrubbery still produces the same results. And there's two right here I walked into while doing this little piece right there, and it's buried too. And then there's another small one next to it, and there's probably more in here. But yeah, all these fallen rotten logs like this, a lot of times they'll be right next to them, just growing. I mean, it's soft, you can break them apart, but it's really good habitat for these morels to grow. And yeah, this mossy stuff as well. So there's your proof. There's two growing right there. And it doesn't really matter if you look in the mossy fallen log area or the thick timber with no dead stuff, because they'll both kind of provide the same results. Oh, there's one right there actually. Another one. This one's just getting, there's the moss and there's the regular duff layer, and it's right in the middle of them. So it's just like this whole area in general is a really good area. Any spot like this you can find it, and you can notice that this is flat too. This is a ridge top after I got up and over that bend, so you don't need to find them on the steep stuff. Wow, hold on a second, there's a bunch more. Wow, 1, 2 right there. See another one up there, but I'm not going to walk up there because I keep getting farther away from my backpack. Yeah, that just proves it right there. I ran into a huge cluster on this mossy, fallen down hillside. Really cool. So yeah, this might be one of my last videos. So I'm getting over towards the ridge where I don't usually find them, and then I'll work my way down. But yeah, hopefully some of those tips help anybody find some morel mushrooms, or if you haven't found them before, maybe start finding them, or people that are kind of having a slow season. Hopefully this helps. But yeah, that's what I do. That's my tip. Nothing too fancy, but it provides. As you can see, there's the results right there. So yeah, good luck to everybody out there finding morel mushrooms, and maybe find some sheds while at it like I try to do. Anyways, pretty cool finds. If I find any more, I'll add them in, but working my way down like I said. But it's a pretty cool day so far. Even in the rain, it finally started to pay off.